So I'm Marc Halpert. I'm a LinkedIn coach, and I didn't go to school for this. It happened, all right? I left corporate America 14 years ago and kissed it goodbye, never wanted to go back again. The company was sold. I was happy to say thank you very much. I had got some great skills. I got some great experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things that you should never do in real life in corporate America. And when the company was sold, I said, what am I going to do? I could go for another job? No, I don't want that. So I decided I would become a consultant. I would be a consultant in the credit card and payment processing area, because that was getting to be some pretty hot stuff right then. And then in September 2001, the world came to an end. For a year, nothing happened in my brand new business. But a friend of mine that I had met in my training said, you know, Mark, I was watching you in our training, and you collect people like baseball cards. How do you keep them straight? And the mind and the ability to remember everybody, and people were moving and companies were closing and people were getting promotions. I couldn't keep them straight anymore. I had 3 Rolodexes. Remember Rolodexes? You remember Rolodexes. I had the good guy Rolodex, the middle guy Rolodex, and the Rolodex of the long forgotten. But I couldn't let the cards go in the long forgotten because I may run into them someday. They may be helpful, and mostly I could be helpful to them, what Nancy was saying. So I collapsed my 3 Rolodexes into something my friend said the answer to the guy with the baseball cards is LinkedIn. And so I was the 292,323rd person to sign on to LinkedIn. If you want to know how to find that out, I can tell you later. It's meaningless information, but I got a head full of it. And I began to use it for my business, for my burgeoning business, in a business world where nothing was going on for a year after September 11th. But I was beginning to learn. I was learning how to network. The first person who introduced me to a networking group, it was a formal networking group, was an attorney, oddly. But he was a very smart attorney because he had wonderful social skills. And I watched him, and I developed my skills. And then as I got to know more about LinkedIn than the teachers I was attending their classes knew, and they were answering questions incorrectly, I said, this is enough. I'm going out to teach LinkedIn. And I'm going to teach LinkedIn from the point of view of somebody who really uses it, not the mechanical stuff. So your life, my life, is an adventure. I don't know what's coming tomorrow. Every day I walk out of the house, there's something new. Every time the phone rings, does your phone ring? My phone doesn't ring anymore. Every time I get an email, a text, somebody sends me a message on LinkedIn, there's something new to do. Clients need something. I'm delivering. I'm client-centric. I give 110% of myself to my clients. And that's in my LinkedIn profile. And all the skills and all the soft things that make me who I am today and the brand of who I am today, that's in my LinkedIn profile. So I'll ask you, did anybody look at my LinkedIn profile before today? Hands? Thank you. There's always a few smart people. No, really. I want you, every time you meet somebody new, or if somebody calls you on the phone, to pull up their LinkedIn profile. Because when you're talking to somebody, or before you meet somebody and you're visualizing what they look like, you're getting a sense for what they're all about. But what if they went to the same school you went to, or share an interest you have? Or maybe they just like to make pickles, and you like to make pickles like I do, too. And I can't tell you how many people come up to me and go, hey, pickle guy, come here. Or my clients remember something about me that makes me memorable. So the next time somebody is saying, you know, I need a LinkedIn coach, and I don't know, and somebody says, I met a guy, or I saw a guy speak, this is the guy you need to have. Or I know an attorney who really impressed me by his or her LinkedIn profile. So what do? You have to have a LinkedIn profile that adequately, more than adequately, takes the core and the brand of who you are and what you do. And when somebody reads your LinkedIn profile, they better be able to answer, that's why he or she does what they do. And you better be explaining, this is how I do what I do. Because it's not just about me, because I could bore you with details about myself that will make you want to cry. And a lot of people do that on their LinkedIn profile. They regurgitate their resume. Your LinkedIn profile is an organic living document. You don't need a web designer to add material to it. And when you add material to it, it goes up in real time. So what you say on LinkedIn is who you really are, why you do what you do, and how you do what you do. Now, there are limitations in the legal profession, and I will not even begin to go there, except for a couple of places where I want you to be very thoughtful and careful. Almost all of the LinkedIn profile is yours, and you can really express your differentiators, your factors that make you the only attorney to call in a certain circumstance. Consumers are buying with their eyes and their heart. That's what they do. So if your LinkedIn profile looks good, is complete, doesn't read like a resume, has video or graphic representations of what you're doing, pictures of you making a presentation, papers that you've offered, articles you've written, you're going to win their hearts and their minds. The two places you really need to be careful on LinkedIn is recommendations. You should not receive recommendations. And the other area is on the skills endorsements. Skills you should carefully choose and only write in the skills that are true skills that you possess. And you will find people will come across your LinkedIn profile and they will endorse you for either some skills they don't know you have, and they mean well, but it's meaningless. Because if Carol endorsed me for a skill that she doesn't know, and Stephen walked up to Carol and said, "Hey, Carol, I saw you endorse Mark for a skill in training," and Carol says, "I don't know anything about Mark's training skills." She looks silly, he looks silly, I look stupid. I never want to look stupid. So what you can do if you look into the Help Center of LinkedIn is you can find ways to manage out the people who don't know the skills they have endorsed you for. You manage them out. You can eliminate them from the endorsers if they don't know that you have the skill. And this is your job, to keep your LinkedIn profile clean, neat, and tidy. And you won't get in any trouble. That means that you have to constantly be working on LinkedIn. Good for you for working on LinkedIn and re-meeting people from the past who know you as a known commodity, at least know the same law school you went to, so you have the nexus. And you can go and approach people you don't know based upon the connection you have with those people, and you can gain reputation. You can get in front of them. That's a wonderful thing you're doing. Anybody who hasn't booked a piece of business from LinkedIn, I would argue with you, your profile probably stinks, or you're not trying hard enough. Now, we can argue about this all day, and we don't have but 10 more minutes to do it, so I win, you lose. Okay, so what specifically makes people want to call you has to be answered on your LinkedIn page, your personal profile. Now, everybody who has a firm has the opportunity to further identify their firm's capabilities on the company profile page. Anybody have a company profile page for their firm? Are you using it a lot? Are you updating it frequently? Most people do not. And you should be seeking followers of your company profile page. Nothing wrong with that. Because every time you add to your company profile page, every single one of those followers gets a message from you. And what does that do? It makes them ping. There's a radar in our head, and there's that ping, ping, ping on the radar. They remember you. So you want to be in front of them with factual, good quality information that's going to make them want to come to you or refer you or network with you. I'm sorry, I hate you hate the word networking, but network with you, okay?
Mark, would you go back to the page that you had right before this?
Let me get to the end of my presentation. We can take questions at the end, please. So talk about and use video, use graphics. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Video is so powerful right now. A colleague of mine is an immigration lawyer. He just finished doing a video about his firm. And what makes him different? He's actually an immigrant. So no immigrant knows immigration law better than an immigrant. And he makes that point very effectively. And people, his phone's ringing off the hook right now. It's a wonderful use of his time. Use groups on LinkedIn. Think of groups on LinkedIn, whether it's your alumni group or whether it's a group of just matrimonial lawyers or whatever these other groups are that you are involved in. Think of them as silos of people who share similar interests with you, and go and tap the silo. Ask open-ended questions of things that you want to know, because there's nothing wrong with asking your peers questions. And you might be able to answer your peers' questions when they have a question. And if you get a great contact with LinkedIn groups, take the conversation offline, go to lunch with them, break bread with them, and get out there and get to know them. You never know how you can have a new referral source out of this. It is a virtual place where you can rub elbows with the right people. It is effective if you use it well. If you're anybody new to LinkedIn, not on LinkedIn, it's okay. Good. Because I would say anybody not on LinkedIn doesn't exist in the business world today. Seriously. Because you won't be found. And if you ever Google yourself, one of the very first things you're going to see on your Google search results for your own name is going to be your LinkedIn profile. Google and LinkedIn have a very, very close alliance with each other. And that's really good because if somebody Googles you, the first thing you want them to see is you talking about yourself. Isn't that great? So why not? Why not make your LinkedIn profile as good as it can be? And put search engine optimization keywords throughout your LinkedIn profile. And there are 3 sections that it's best to put those SEO keywords. Take this down. Headline, summary, experience. And by the end of the year, add skills. So there's a little freebie for you. Those are your 3 areas. Headline, summary, experience. End of the year, it'll be skills. 347 million people are on LinkedIn. It grows by 2 people a second. It's phenomenal. More than half are out of this country. A little more than half are English speakers. If you have material that you want to share, original material, you should be using the posts on LinkedIn. If you see an article that you like, that you want to share, you should be sharing the article on your homepage to your connections. Again, you'll ping on the radar screen. This is the simplest, best way, and it takes very little time. Somebody mentioned it was a time suck. Here's an idea. Go to the dollar store. Buy an egg timer. Set the egg timer. And in about 2 or 3 turns of the egg timer, you're done working for the day on LinkedIn. Give it 9, 10, 15 minutes a day. You can afford it. Do it while you're listening to a webinar. I give webinars all the time. I know they're doing it while I'm talking. I get that, because I do it too. But find the time when you have the time to do it and you can listen and react at the same time. It's a wonderful tool. It's a power tool in your branding toolbox. But like a chainsaw, you can't drive a nail with a chainsaw. You'll hurt yourself. It's a power tool used properly will give you amazing results. It's spectacular. So don't stop ever tweaking your LinkedIn profile, making it the very best thing it can be, adding to the conversation, sharing articles that you think are worthy of sharing, posting original material about things you've written, rewriting and adding to your company profile page. It is organic, it lives, it reflects who you really are. No one can say it better than you. And have fun with it, because you can really meet some amazing people, and I hope you get business from it. Because I know I do. I know some people do. Anybody else got in business other than this smart guy back here? Good, good. Because you're using it well. It's not luck, it's finesse. And you use every tool you got to finesse something. Okay? Thanks very much.